Cara.
Well, hello, we're back. We're back after a week break. We're back.
Yay, I'm recharged and refreshed. And life is pretty good. It's summer here in
Finally.
Minnesota.
It is. It is. It's actually warm and kind of sunny and things. So
I'm
yeah.
kind of okay with that. You know, I have my clematis flowers are blooming and like I went out and I looked at all my plants and it made me all happy. And I know you have beautiful flowers and plants on your deck.
Yes. Well, and Mabel, every morning I get a cup of tea and Mabel and I do the plant walk where we inspect every single plant and she inspects them as well.
Or
So
she's
they have to be
supervising you
pin-headed.
as
And she gets a little catnip snack and
oh, I bet you she loves that.
she does.
You gotta have rituals, right, in your life, like things that you do. Like we have our show every week, things that kind of bring you joy, and I think that is always a good thing.
It is.
We have had fires. We have a chimney on our deck, which like I have it set up so it doesn't burn our house down. But we've been doing fires at night. It's so nice. And it's just like beautiful outside.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Let's burn some shit and have like peaceful, beautiful time. So
right.
Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it. So yeah, no, it's been like kind of freaking awesome. And I know you've been everywhere lately.
I have. I just got back from Atlanta where we did the first training for campaign staff and for affiliate leadership. And so we did that for the very first one was held in Region 2 for the Libertarian Party. So that was in Atlanta. Because was that you? Exactly. That was a nice imagination. And it went
going to do this, but
Michelle, who made that comment, the great Cornholio.
Great Cornholio. Sorry. I'm such a nerd. Oh, well.
So Michelle, who did that comment, she was also with me in Atlanta. We were roomies.
Oh, cool.
Although we ended up with more roomies because some of our people that were supposed to be in other rooms, it didn't work out. So then it ended up that there was 4 of us in a room. So Michelle and I were snuggly. So there you go. But I told Michelle, I'm like, don't worry about it. You're not even going to know I'm in there because I'm an edge sleeper.
Yes. Like Cara and I have been roomies before and we're both like right on the far edge of the bed. So like
there's an ocean in between.
You could have like another whole person in there and we'd never know it.
Yeah. So yeah, we were snuggly. And so the training went really well. We had great attendance. Everyone was engaged. Looking at the survey results from it, when we asked the question, on a scale of 1 to 5, we asked them, how likely would you be to recommend this training to a friend or colleague, and it was 4.7. So that's crazy high.
That is really high. Good job.
Yeah, that is crazy high. So it went really well. I mean, there's things we're going to do differently and smooth out and all that kind of stuff. We're going to reevaluate after every training. But yeah, it went really well. It went really well. So yeah.
I love hearing that. I know you guys you have like, what did you said? You said 7 more?
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. Cara's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I have Michigan's state convention coming up and Bendixson out of 5. And if it was out of 10, that would suck.
I was going to say, it's really good out of 5, but out of 10, not so good. Or out of 20, even really, really worse. But
yeah, so doing Michigan and North Carolina. So I'll be doing good North Carolinas. So
beautiful out there.
Yeah. Exciting. Freedom Fest. Yeah, I'll be on a panel or 2 at Freedom Fest in South Dakota.
That rocks. Oh, that's coming up too, isn't it? That one looks amazing.
Yeah, that's coming up really quick.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think you're like it almost is like you're on a concert tour. You're like, hello, South Dakota, and then you're like,
Yep.
you're in North Carolina right now. Like, oh shit, where am I? It's like you need a Where's Waldo book, but with Where's Cara. You're like, look, there she is.
That would be fun.
She's carrying a porcupine.
Everyone gets coloring books, like, the coloring book of Spike and other libertarian activists.
Yeah.
They could do a Where's Cara coloring book. Why do I not have a coloring book?
Yeah, somebody needs to make this happen, okay?
Because people don't know who I am, and that's why.
But they will if they get a coloring book, because they'll be like, oh, there's Cara.
They'll be like, I don't know who this is and why. Oh, Bendixson's got a good idea. Tour, yes, that would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. Oh yeah,
Bendixson, I'm writing that down.
Yeah, because then you can have all the cities and at each place somebody can win one. You get like extra ones, and then you can give them away as prizes and sign your name on it like you're a rock star.
That would be
Jen! Hello, beautiful people.
Fun. Yay!
Oh, I'm gonna open my drink. I'm having a special drink tonight. I have never had it before. I do I go through the not drinking alcohol for a little bit to lose weight. And so I'm doing Hoplark water. It's a brand new product. It's supposed to be a sparkling water. It's hopped, so it tastes a little like a beer. And this one is with Sabro hops, so it's supposed to be a little tropical. So I'm gonna try it, and if it sucks really bad, I'll tell you. I'm hopeful. And I just got it today. I was so excited. I'm like, something nice, and it looks just like water, right? And it's like, ooh, water! Wow.
Ooh, water.
Doesn't that make you thirsty? Okay, cheers to you. Oh, that's pleasant. That's really good. Okay. It's
You're a happy camper?
Yes, and it does have a hint of tropical. So Hoplark, they're water. You can get it shipped right to you from anywhere in the country. Yay! And it's 0 calories and nothing else in it except delicious carbonated water and Sabro hops. So
very nice.
Yay! Okay.
So my drink for the evening is also non-alcoholic, but that's because I'm trying to really focus on getting better sleep.
Yes.
Because I struggle with that. And so I am having lavender and rose petal tea.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that.
That's what I'm having. So I'm trying to get my sleep pattern under control.
Winding down at the end of the day. I have to have kind of rituals at night so I can sleep. If I do too much Facebook right before bed, then I have a hard time. So I try to turn off, and
I'm trying to stress reduce.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I lay in bed and recite everything that I need to do the next day over and over and over and over and over the entire night.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've done is 2 weeks ago, I put a hard stop. If I hit 12 hours in a day, I stop.
Yes.
Even with stuff not finished. And now this month, I'm going to march it back to 11 hours. So if I hit 11 hours of work, then I'm going to stop, which I had a friend try to give me a helpful hint. And she's like, well, maybe you could shift some things to the weekend. And if it was spread out, you wouldn't have to do. And I'm like, yeah, I work the weekend. I do 6 hours already every day on the weekend. So
I have people tell me that too.
Doing more.
It's just you just do it when you can, and but you got to build in breaks. I mean, yes, she's right, but you can't be nonstop.
Right. And so I'm also trying to stick to 50 minutes of work, 10 minutes of break, 50 minutes of work, 10 minutes of break. And I do see that my productivity goes up. It is helping my sleep. Although sometimes when I'm in my jam on something,
you just
you gotta just keep going for it.
I've had that where I wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, I just figured out how to do this. And then I have to go run and just do it. And then I finish to a part where I can stop and then I can go back to bed. But if I just sit there and think about it in bed, then I
Yeah.
flip out. So I get
Well,
it.
we're probably boring everyone to sleep now.
Yeah. Well,
But we have a good show for you tonight. We do.
yes, we
Heather
do.
has a tip for you later.
Yes, yes.
We are going to be talking to Will Hyman, who was elected yesterday to
Yay.
Clarksburg City Council position. So we're going to talk to him about his race and what he has coming up. But first, we have a libertarian caught being good, and he was caught being really, really, really good.
Really
So we'll bring Chris Rogers on, and what Chris Rogers was doing out of his garage in Richardson, Texas, is he's created a food pantry.
A food pantry?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So, Chris, you are with the Vermin Supreme Institute, which I can see in your little parentheses. How did you get the idea to do a food pantry out of your garage?
Well, my job at the Vermin Supreme Institute is I am the director of public works. So I'm always looking for things to do on the ground, boots on the ground, getting things actually done with direct action, mutual aid, etc.
Right.
Around the February timeframe, somebody whispered in my ear, can't remember who it is, apologies, but it whispered in my ear about the idea of doing a food pantry outside in a garage, and how that would be such a really great thing, because it's the very definition of helping neighbors, because you're right there and it's just your neighbors, and everybody's been hurt by this coronavirus stuff and all the economy breaking down and all of that. Right. So I figured, why not give it a shot? And it took a little while to get where we are, because I had to rearrange a lot of stuff. I'm in my new workshop for my company, Earthbound Martian, and I had to get that built before I could even empty my garage out. So we finally got there, and we opened up 2 weeks ago, actually a week and a half ago, whatever. Yeah. So we're just going to do every other Sunday for now, and it was fantastic, because we started off the day with about 3 or 4 people coming in with donations. We had about half of our racks stocked up. We had gone to a 99-cent store and just bought oodles and noodles of groceries, and about half of our racks were stocked. And then by the noon, they were completely stocked by people just bringing stuff by. And people just absolutely wanted to give to this idea. And then we had several families. By the end of the day, we ended up with 5 families that came by. Yeah, that's a picture of it right there. Awesome. So we had about 5 families that came by and got supplies. And we're not just food. So we have food, we have supplies, we have toys. We're going to be getting clothing, shoes, things like that.
Oh, wow.
Already, I have another person in the neighborhood who wants to collaborate with us. And she's going to bring by all sorts of things, blankets, pillows. We're going to set up our 12-foot canopy that we use for farmers markets in the driveway, and just set up tables and expand from the garage out into the driveway.
Wow. So how many people have you had go through your pantry?
Well, we've only been open for the 1 day so far.
Right.
And so it was the 5 people there, but we've had about 18 people drop off supplies. Wow. And not just supplies, I mean, supplies, cash. LabCorp of Richardson was getting rid of refrigerators, so their employees donated it to us. And we have somebody else who's actively searching for a freezer for us to put in there as well. So now we can have milk and cheese and dairy and other things like that. So, and it obviously meat, so they'll be able to freeze that in the deep freeze whenever that gets donated. So it's fantastic. I suspected that this was going to be a big deal and people were going to like it. I just did not expect it to be so popular. It's amazing. And I have great news. So one of the things about this is we didn't just want to do this in my garage. This was a proof of concept, just to see if it worked. What we want to do is create a network of these things across the entire country. And I'm very happy to announce that somebody in our neighborhood is moving to Garland, a few miles down the road. And they're about to get a new house. And they said, I want to set one of these up in my new house. And so I was expecting I'd have to go a month or so and try to work out how to do it. Now I'm going to have to do it on the fly, figuring out how to get the arrangements.
Right.
What we really want to do with this is we want to, somebody volunteers to set up a food pantry in their garage. We'll get them started with like maybe some coupons for shelves, a sign that they can put out, maybe a banner to put in front of the garage, things like that. Even giving some a little bit of cash to get a seed going for supplies. But that's kind of how we want to maybe start a kit for that. And then from there, you want to rely on your neighbors, right? Bring in the stuff and supplies and things like that. And also the food pantries. So if somebody in Garland needs something and they don't have it, they can just give a ring up and say, hey, we need this. And if I don't have it, I can call somebody else and that sort of thing. The old phone tree kind of the concept. But this just focusing on mutual aid. Yeah.
Now, has the city said anything to you yet?
No, and honestly, I'm not really worried about that. As much as this particular city gets on permits and everything, I'm not selling anything. I'm opening my garage, and people are coming up and grabbing stuff, and I'm not prosecuting them for trespassing. So it's basically that. If they really wanted to start getting on me about not having a garage sale permit or something like that,
right?
Well, I'll beat that horse later. But
and you're not preparing food.
Oh no, we're not.
So,
if we were going to do something like that, I was somebody had mentioned recently on Nextdoor, which is one of the ways I'm organizing this, about doing a block party. And it's like block parties are so gone now, and it's like what would be really nice is to do a neighborhood potluck. Yeah. Tying that with the food pantry would be amazing because people need food. They can come by, get a hot meal, grab some groceries, and head out. But I don't know. That's I'm just kind of riffing with that right now and seeing if that plays out. Yeah.
Well, this is an incredible thing that you're doing. And right when I saw your post on Facebook, I was like, that is brilliant, because that is way past what I've seen people do with like the little free library, but they do like a little free mini pantry.
Yeah.
That's going way past that.
Well, we had considered the little mini pantry, but here in this area, it gets so hot in the summer that unless you have like active cooling in there, you're going to have burst cans and stuff. So at least in my garage, I can control it with fans and things like that and keep it nice and cool and close the door, etc. But I think anybody can do this if they have obviously a garage or some space to do it on. Obviously, you can't really do it out of your apartment. I think the apartment managers would be annoyed by that. But the cool thing about that is I've had people from the apartments around the corner come by and say, "Well, I can help you. I can't do this myself, but here's some food. Here's some food." And the cool thing about them, people donating money is great. It's going into a jar and it's going to help buy more shelves. And it might ultimately just go into the VSI coffers for this project to help other pantries. But it's been amazing how well this has come together. And I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm really not. People want to help. All you have to do is the opportunity to help and make it easy for them, and they will step right up and they'll help you.
People want to help, but they feel overwhelmed, and so then they don't do anything. But when you give them clear direction on an easy way that they can help, people step up like crazy. Okay. But you got to have an awesome person like you to create the opportunity for them to be able to do so.
Well, and it just takes, obviously, it takes a little leadership. Somebody has to step up at some point in time. Years ago, I realized that, instead of wishing for the future that I wanted, I just need to make it happen. So this is me making it happen. But, once you have somebody who's taken that risk, then somebody else will come up and say, that didn't seem so hard, I'll try it. And the next thing you have a movement. And then the next thing this is commonplace. And I dream of maybe in 4 to 5 years, this is something you just do. You have at least one or two of these in every neighborhood in the country.
Yeah. And, that makes it also so that people can get to them easier. Because one of the challenges that people face is getting to where they can get assistance.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Mhm.
And people don't think of that, but what if you don't have a car, or what if you don't have current tabs on your car
Mhm.
because it's expensive and you can't take time off of work to go during the day and get the tabs? I mean, there's like all these hurdles. Or you're trying to get the kids in and out, and all of these kind of things, or you don't have a vehicle at all. There's a lot of barriers that people face. I mean, when you're poor, it's expensive to be poor.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Being poor is horrifically expensive.
absolutely. In
And
fact,
that's why people can't crawl out. And there's all these barriers. So you're doing this huge step on erasing major barriers.
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of as my job as a consultant over these years. That's kind of one of the things I've been trained on, and I'm just trying to apply what I've done in the computer industry and the business industry to real life. And it's surprising how well it works. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that could be translated over. But one of the things I did with in that aspect was, instead of doing Saturdays, because everybody does Saturdays. All of the food pantries, at least in our area, are based out of churches. And so they do their food pantries on Saturdays because they have services on Sundays. So it's like, okay, you know what? Nobody's doing a food pantry on Sunday. People work Saturdays. Service industry is pretty much always Saturday working, Sunday, Monday off. So I was like, okay, I'll do it on Sunday. So right now we're doing every other Sunday, but as popular as it is, we may end up having to do every Sunday. It's not like we're running short of supplies. In fact, I had to take some of the stuff that I had put on the top shelves of my rack. I have to put them back in storage and just use the top shelves for supplies, which is a good problem to have, to be honest. I need people to come out and get supplies so that they're not hungry, they're not struggling.
Right.
It's I love the donations. I don't want the embarrassment of riches. I want these things to go to people who need it.
Chris, how are you getting the word out to people in your community how to use it?
Well, there's first off, there's Nextdoor, which is in the past I've shied away from Nextdoor with a fervent passion because it can be a cesspit. But in this particular case, it was very helpful because I was able to get the word out very quickly. I had accidentally forgot to set it down to the actual neighborhoods, and had left it set to everyone. So I pretty much notified all of North Dallas. It helped, right? So beyond that, there are two groups on Facebook that are dedicated to this particular neighborhood and the neighborhoods in this area. So I've been able to post on there. And then beyond that, somehow, and I don't know exactly how, but somehow word got out on Twitter. And people found me on Twitter and started asking me about it. So I mean, I'm going to answer questions on Twitter as well. And then, of course, we're have an article pending for VSI, which we'll actually share through Vermin's accounts and the Vermin Supreme Institute accounts, and just get the word out that way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and there was this one other thing. This was a surprise, actually. Later in the day, last Sunday, when we were open, I got some lady walks up and says, "I'm a journalist. I write for the New York Times, the Washington Post, and Reader's Digest, and I'd like to do an interview." And she just had the neighborhood she saw the post. So I was like, okay, yeah. So impromptu interviews. Fortunately, I'm used to this, so it worked out all right. But I'm hoping that actually does give more word out.
Yeah.
Just so we can spread this across the country. I want this to be
Absolutely
virulent in a good way.
Yeah. No, this is very exciting. I would definitely love to have you back on in a few weeks to see how this is going, and also to see if this is expanding out to other people doing this.
I would love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for everything you're doing, and this is an incredible project.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Bye.
How awesome is that? Right?
So awesome. I love the idea. I mean, I could see it
too
blossoming all over the country, really. I mean,
I looked at it and I was like, that is brilliant. Why is that not been a thing before? And I was watching how he had it organized in his garage. The types of things that he had. I've watched the conversation over expanding it, making sure that there's pet food, making sure that there's paper
Oh,
products,
that's
all
a
of
good idea.
those kinds of things. Just incredible. And now hearing that it's expanding further out, even into other types of goods and needs. God, that's incredible.
That's so cool. I was going to ask you, as a city councilwoman, can you see any way cities would have problems with this, or would it be the
Oh, yeah.
whole? Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm like thinking
Yeah.
they want to permit everything.
Yep.
That would probably be the roadblock for most communities.
I can tell you that depending on your community, you will hit a very unhappy city government that will do everything they can to shut you down. But you do need to challenge it. There's nothing being prepared. I think you can successfully push back against most of the permitting requirements that they would have. But you are going to have cities and city councils who really want to pretend that there aren't poor people.
Yeah,
Like that they don't exist. And they want to make
But they
their
do.
city as hostile towards people experiencing difficulties as they can to try to force them out.
That makes sense. That makes sense why they would do it. You'd think that they want to help people in their communities because they also vote,
But they don't. For the most
Oh,
part,
they-
they're feeling smug and happy because for the most part, when people are experiencing, like real challenges in their life like that, a lot of times they aren't voting. They may not have ID. They may not have a permanent address. I mean, there's all kinds of barriers to them voting. They may not be able to get to the polling places.
It's
So
true.
no, they feel pretty smug and confident that they're not going to vote, and so they don't care.
But if you have enough people who really believe in this and want to help people in their own community,
Yes.
I mean, you can just turn it right back on them if they want to hurt
Yeah.
people and say, like this is one of the few times where I think cancel culture could maybe help a community is like, oh, you don't want to help people. You want to make it so we can't have charity in our own community.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to turn the light back on them.
So I think if this is something that you are interested in, you should contact either Chris or contact the Vermin Supreme Institute and just inquire, like, how did they set this up, and then see if that's something that you can replicate.
I can't wait to see more. I think this should be happening everywhere. I love it.
I do too. This is pretty exciting. But we have exciting news as well.
We do.
We have another elected libertarian.
Yeah. I'm going to bring him right in.
So, Will, you won election yesterday, correct?
Yeah, so the election was yesterday. I finished fourth out of 11 candidates. It was 4 spots were open in a nonpartisan election. And the official canvassing will be Monday, but I'm projected to win by a mere 35 votes for the council race. So the next person ahead of me was only 7 votes ahead of me, but the top 2 people had
they had a pretty good jump between them. Yeah. So and yours was it was an 11-person jungle election. Mm-hmm. And it was it a pick 5?
No.
Top 5?
Yeah, you can pick 4. Yeah,
pick 4.
Yeah, so I finished 4th out of those 4 available. So it was pretty tight. It was neck and neck. In fact, when they were tabulating the precincts, I didn't have a lead or get in to the 4th spot until 5 precincts in out of 12. So I was kind of devastated at first. I was like, oh no, this isn't looking good at all. And it turned around here in my home neighborhood precinct. I dominated, got me back above 4th. At one point, I was at 3rd, and then a friend of mine who was also running, he surged a little bit and took it by 7 votes for 3rd. So it was that close. Of course, these municipal elections here in our city have very poor turnout. There's
because it's an odd date.
Yeah, and that's a great question or a statement, really, because on our ballot we had 5 charter amendments on our ballot that
I saw that.
one of them moved the election date to coincide with the May primary election on even years. So anytime you'll go to the vote in the primary election, you'll be voting for city council members, in those years. So that was a great charter amendment. We also included term limits. Term limits got included. Initiative referendum and recall, which I was a huge advocate for in 2019 when I ran for city council in 2019, and there was, if I remember correctly, there was 14 candidates on the ballot at that point, and for 3 spots, and I finished 7th in that race out of 14. So, this isn't the first time I've done it. I've also ran twice for West Virginia House of Delegates as a registered Libertarian, and that's a partisan election where both times I secured about 2.5% of the vote. But in our district, I should say, it's a pick 4 in our district. We're one of the only multi-member districts in the state. It's one of the larger areas of West Virginia, like population-wise. But here we're going to go into a special session here soon, and everything will be a single-member district in West Virginia. So that's going to be a big change here in the state. So, I don't know if you guys knew, but I'm also the state chair of the Libertarian Party of West Virginia. Just that happened in April back.
Yep. So condolences on that.
Yeah. Dave Valente is a great guy. He was my predecessor, and he's a great guy, and we did.
Yep. David was like, "Good luck, sir."
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's done great things for the state party.
Well, and it looks like you are doing great things for your state party.
Yeah, I'm trying to continue that winning path. I first ran in 2018 for House of Delegates here in West Virginia, and I was had my arm twisted by some local friends, local Libertarian friends, and John Buckley, who was a member of the Libertarian Party of West Virginia, and him and Mr. David Moran basically are the fathers of the Libertarian Party of West Virginia. They gathered signatures. I think it was in 2012 or 2008. I can't remember exactly what year it was. They gathered the signatures to actually be on the ballot. We've maintained major party status since with Mr. Moran, Erica Klinich, and some other candidates along the way.
Erica was a spectacular candidate.
Yeah, she was great, and hopefully we can twist her arm and get her to run for state house or even city council in Buchanan. That would be a great spot for her.
Yes, you do need to twist her arm to do that. But so I was excited to see your election. You had 515 votes.
Yep.
Do I remember that correctly?
Yep, that's correct.
And so, I mean, that shows that, when you are in these elections, every vote counts.
Oh,
and
my God,
getting out the vote is everything, because first you have to earn that vote, but then that vote has to get in the ballot box.
Yeah, it was crucial. I in 2019 when I ran for Clarksburg City Council, I did some door knocking, and I had, if I remember correctly, like 1,500 door hangers I had purchased, and I had 100 signs, and and I did well in my precinct here in my neighborhood,
right?
And like I said, I got 371 votes in that election. I believe it was 371. So this time my goal was to pound the doors, and I did. I ordered 5,000 door hangers. I handed all of them out, but 1,500. The first probably 2,500 I knocked personally. Like I knocked, and then I ran out of time. I had some issues with an illness in the family, and I ran out of time. So I started leaving door hangers probably about a week and a half out, because I had to get rid of them.
Right.
And the money I used was all pretty much out of my pocket, me and my wife's pocket, and we had a few donations, but from family and stuff. But getting the presence out there in the newspaper for about $4,000 or so. I had 3 big full page ads. I purchased a sticker on the front page of the Sunday paper this last week, and I did some videos. I've always considered myself a goon. I'm not the greatest in front of a camera, but I told myself this time around, I said, I got to make videos because of COVID and everything happening.
Yes.
And I said, I got to make some videos. So I did about 6 or 7 videos. And like the first video I did, I read from a paper script. and I didn't have a microphone. So then, like, going the next video, I said, I got to get a microphone. And then I ended up getting a teleprompter app for my iPad. And
yeah.
the production level of my videos got better, like every single video. And I got thousands of views on these videos, which was great. And, I think the combination of that and my door campaign is what put me over the top, because from what I understand, I was the only candidate doing it. A lot of candidates sent out direct mailers, and they said, we're looking out for your safety, and which is okay. I get that,
right.
I do. But people told me, and I told other people as well. People answered the door. They don't care. I think maybe two people answered the door with masks. That's it. And people wanted to talk. They wanted to engage me, and because they were maybe alone, maybe they were tired of it, and so people told me, I'm voting for you because you knocked my door, and it worked. So,
field operations, so important. So to hear that you were out there knocking the doors, you ran into a time crunch, and so you went to a lit drop. That's how a campaign plan is. You have your plan, and then you have to make adjustments throughout. You got your extra impressions through the newspaper and through the videos you did. So you had a multi-prong approach on your campaign plan and your strategy. And I love hearing that, because when our candidates run, and they're actually running, right? And they're running for office, and it's a nonpartisan office. What we're seeing this year, and even including our partisan ones, we are over a 50% win rate. Libertarians are over 50% for a win rate. We have fewer and fewer candidates that are paper candidates now. More of our candidates are doing what you're doing, which is, you had other runs, and you got name recognition out there and all that kind of stuff. And then that's fine, because a lot of times it took me 2 runs for city council as well. That's normal. That's just normal. And that's normal no matter what party you're in. That's just normal. But running to win and having a campaign plan and understanding these are my channels for, getting touches to voters, and understanding that, you got to knock doors.
Yeah. I think it ultimately, I think that it was a muddled race for 3rd and 4th, in my opinion. Right. And the first 2 candidates, I believe, were locks. One of them was a good friend of mine. The other one is an established incumbent.
He was an incumbent, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the race for 3rd and 4th was between me and I thought personally 4 other people, and maybe a 5th. And I said, going into it, I said, look, if I'm going to do it around this time, I got to be serious about it. I got to, I got to go and win. And one of the other guys who won, Jerry Riffle, I think personally he felt, or maybe somebody told him that, said, look, Will is outworking you. You got to go out and do it too. And he did. And sure enough, he did. And he won as well. So, of course, like I said, we are somewhat friends, we're pretty good acquaintances, but, I think it showed, and then the final results, when you go out and meet people and you engage people, and you ask them, can you vote for me? People usually will say yes. It's pretty interesting experience.
It's so interesting that, you actually do have to ask people to vote for you.
Yeah.
People want to be asked.
Yeah. One of the common things I would say was, I wish you luck. They would say, I wish you luck, or, I wish you the best, say, or leave, or say something about, well, this needs done in our city, which is another great lead in for this. Mm-hmm. And that's when you reply, I can't do it without your support. And people are like, it's like, oh, okay. I understand, but, how it really worked, I don't know. But, people were messaging my family members who still live in the area. Mm-hmm. They were messaging me. They were messaging my friends, or telling my friends of mine that maybe they didn't know. For example, I had a sign in somebody's yard, and somebody said to this friend of mine, they said, they said, I saw his video on Facebook. And
There you go.
what do you know about him? And and she said, well, I'll vote for him. It works. You just got to do it. And I think a lot of people kind of miss that whole point out. And another part of and I think that we don't really talk about enough is you got to build relationships outside of the election, and you got to take those relationships with you into the election, whether it's through organizations in town, fraternal organizations, veterans associations, whatever. You just got to find these organizations and then find a way. You don't got to infiltrate them. You just got to find people that are in there and become friends with them and have a relationship with them, because a lot of the times that I've ran in the past, people will say, well, I just don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you stand for. I don't know anything about you. But once you meet one person, it's kind of like a chain reaction of, hey, this guy's a good guy. He does great things in the community. And, you should check them out. And it takes time. It's not an overnight process. And
so what good things are you looking to do for your community?
Well, I'm in regards to voluntarism, I work with a group called Clarksburg Community Action, and we do weekly cleanups in our neighborhoods. We have several different neighborhoods in our city. Our city's about 15,000 people and shrinking, because it's West Virginia. And some of them are filled with dilapidated buildings and lower income areas, and they're very dirty. They got lots of litter. So we hit them every week. We go out and meet our neighbors, and we pick up garbage. We pick up volunteers, and they come with us. And sometimes people are there court ordered, and we help them get their community service hours for that. And it's a great organization. And we always post what we're doing on Facebook, and that's how it works. Now, I would like to see that grow, and maybe even be part of the movement that turns Clarksburg around, is getting out there and taking pride in our community, because that seems to be of what we've lost here in West Virginia. It's of course the shrinking state here of West Virginia has been on the decline for some time, and we got to find a way to overcome that and bring young people, engage them in our community to take pride, to want to live here. That's we're not focusing on creating. Well, I mean, at the same time, we are trying to create opportunities for city government, enticing businesses and other opportunities. However, we got to entice young people to want to stay here and live here and do business here, because they're going elsewhere to find that opportunity. And we got to create that. So that's something we need to work on as a city.
Well, we are so thrilled that you were elected. Very thrilled with how hard you're working, and that you are so involved and caring in your community. You are definitely demonstrating by your actions what libertarianism is all about. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can't thank you enough for everything that you're doing. Yes, Heather's given you the heart, because we love you. This is fantastic work.
I couldn't have done it without my wife and my 5-year-old daughter, and all my friends and supporters, and not just in Clarksburg, but across the state, and the Libertarian Party of West Virginia, that have I would bounce videos off them, and talk about things I wanted to talk about, and it's one of the big things about a nonpartisan election is people ask you what party you're affiliated with.
They do.
Regardless of what the status is, you tell them you're a libertarian, and some people are receptive to that, and some people don't even know what you're talking about. So it's it was an interesting mixed bag. Some people weren't impressed, others were, but you got to look beyond that, and you got to. My advice for a nonpartisan election, any libertarian running in a nonpartisan election, is try to steer it and focus on the community, and not focus on party. When somebody says what party you're in, always remind them that it's a nonpartisan election.
Yes.
You may be voting for people you would never vote for in a partisan race, because but that's part of the relationship building. You got to understand. It's like well, he's a libertarian. And then somebody says, well, he's doing good things for our community, and you got to overcome that, regardless of what party you are, not just being a libertarian, but it's all part of the game we play, right?
It is. Yeah. It is. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And we definitely do want to have you back later as well, because we want to catch up with you and see what's going on with your city.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
So many good guests.
I
Will
know.
is amazing. That is so great.
He is. And the his community is fortunate to have him in it. They're fortunate to have him in local government. You can tell that he is definitely a servant leader, not a master trying to rule over and control people. And the Libertarian Party in that state is also fortunate to have him step up into that chair role. So I expect good things out of them.
Yay! I like that. Oh man. It just warms my heart when I think about how hard we're all working to make change. And I love this whole voluntarism where you're getting out and you're like cleaning in the community, making your community better, having like pantry shelves in your garage. I mean, look at what libertarians are doing. It is amazing.
For everyone that says, oh, libertarians, they're just selfish. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
No, we're not. It's like I've met some of the best people, the good people that want to do good for their communities are libertarians.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love
that. Heather.
Oh, is it time?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I think
time for
you need to give me a tip. Yes. Yes.
Well, this week I'm going to do something a little different because I had a guest, one of our VIPs sent me a recommendation, which by the way, from our Patreon, we have Michael Sweeney, Travis Mitchell, and David Nick are our Patreon supporters. And I will just say, I'm going to pimp that for a second. If you want to support us in any way, Sweet Subversives, we have special stuff in our Patreon account. Every week we talk and hang out a little bit with our Patreon awesome angels. So join us with them. So we love them.
Be part of our cult.
Join us. Be one of us. Yes. So anyway, this week Travis Mitchell had sent me a link to one he likes.
I want to try this so bad.
This looks so good, and I can't because I live too far away. But Cara can, and so let me see if I can actually share because I didn't think that far ahead. I am so smart. Here we go. This is right. Here we go. This one looks really good. It's called Homegrown Foods, Meal Planning and Grocery Delivery. And
I was looking at those recipes.
It's healthy, kid approved. They have dairy-free ones, grillable, extra serving, slow cooker. So it's something for everyone. And they do it's kind of like, Home Chef or what is that? Blue Apron, all of those, HelloFresh, those kind of things. But it's local to the Twin Cities, homegrown foods. And he says it blows them out of the water. So this is the next week you could get Thai coconut soup, pulled pork sandwiches, rice bowls.
That looks good.
Doesn't that look good? It's so healthy and yummy. I know I would do the pulled pork sandwiches or the quote pork sandwiches if you want a vegetarian option. So they have a little bit of everything. And I thought, what a great idea. So if you live up in the Twin Cities, that right now you can do these. And he says it's pretty reasonable. They deliver so you can get it right to your door. And you don't have to think too hard about what delicious, healthy food you're going to make for you and your family this week.
I like the non-thinking part.
I like the non-thinking. I've been doing that on and off. I just finished Gobble this week. It's a new one, and it was pretty good. I don't know if it's after I do the price break stuff, then it goes up to full price, and I don't like that. I like the discount price because I'm ridiculous. But it, it's pretty good. I had one that I wanted to share besides the homegrown. So thank you, Travis, for sending it to me. And if anyone has things that they'd like me to show for just the tip, send it to me. I will see what I can do. I have another one that I think is really cool.
Double tip.
It's just a double tip.
It's a double dong tip.
No, it's not a double dong. Jesus, you're a
No, we gotta
fan.
save those for the national convention.
Yeah, we do. Then you like which way we vote. Holy
Yep.
crap. No, the one that I was gonna show is I'm trying this next week. So I'm doing this Misfits market, and I had a different screen up. I'll share the other screen. Golly, Heather. Anyway, so Misfits market is ugly vegetables and produce, and they get a package of it and they send it to you, and you can try, like, you get to choose. So it's kind of like a food kit.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can share the actual screen that I wanted to. What is kind of cool is because there's so much food waste in our country, and it's kind of, that's the same one. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so Misfits Market, it had I had like apples and oranges, and I'm gonna try like onions and lemons and lettuce and squash, and we're gonna see if it works out.
Right.
I've heard good and I've heard horror stories. So part of my thinking is I had my CSA went away in my community. So I was getting that, and now it's gone. So I'm going to try this out for a week, maybe more. If it's awesome, I'll do more. I'm worried that I'll get really rotten stuff because I don't.
Ben Dixon has a good comment.
Oh, I got to look. So it's like produce. You get it. Last call. You're like, do you want some produce? Look at this brown shit right here. Tastes good. Yeah, it's like you guys. I have my beer goggles on. Yeah, that celery
But for
looks
veggies.
fine. It's like some stuff it doesn't matter, like the outside, whatever. But as long as the inside works. But I'll tell you. I'll give you an update on it because
Okay.
I'm trying to eat more vegetables, and we're sometimes 6 cups, and I go to the farmer's market locally, but when I'm not an early morning person, I can't get out of bed early enough. I go there and it's like wiped out. Like everyone else had the same idea, but they were earlier than me. So I want to have like a variety.
Tracy and I, we do that Saturday mornings. We get up pretty early. We hit the drive-through and get chai, and then we go over, and we have some really good farmers markets here, and they're pretty big. And we get like a ton of vegetables and all that kind of stuff. And but I am using the Target app.
Oh, the Target app.
Yes.
I love that.
With so that I just pick it up. So in fact, I will be picking up things tomorrow.
Oh, and my other app that I do, and I use the shopping stuff for it. Okay, my brain went blank. What is it? Meal Lime? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Meal Lime. It's MEALIME. And so that you can make, I did the pay one for 1 year, and it was like $50 for a year. So you do that, and then they give you recipes and shopping lists. And then if you do I get 4 meals, and they'll do the automatic shopping list. So then you just add the shopping list to your e-cart, and you add, that's sort of like Instacart. So you just send it to your grocery store, and then you go and pick up your groceries, and you have all your shopping lists and everything and your recipes right there. So that'll be the other one. Only women use apps to shop, I swear. Dude, you got to try it. It'll save you so much time.
I resisted because I had originally tried it, and the app sucked and the website sucked, and it was super hard to do it. But now, like that Target app, I just pick all my groceries out and drop it in, and then tell them I'm on my way. And by the time I get there, I say, yep, I'm here. And they just wheel it out and put it in the back of my car, and I leave.
Freaking awesome. Saves you so much time. You just feel like, why haven't I been doing this my whole life? Because it wasn't like this for my whole life.
I did a grocery list while sitting on the plane, And then the plane landed. My husband picked me up and I was like, yeah, our Target order's ready. So just swing by because there's our groceries. Because I knew there was not going to be any edible food left in the house.
Yeah. Either he ate it all or the other stuff is like turned over the time.
Yeah.
So
I knew if
good.
I wanted actual food and not pizza, because
Then
that's
you
what
needed.
he had lined up for us was pizza.
Oh, and he's probably very disappointed in your healthy
and he was
thinking
like,
ahead.
oh.
But we were going to eat pizza. Sorry, man. So anyway, that's my just the tip for this week is healthy foods, find easy ways to do it. Don't just eat the pizza. Eat
Travis
healthy.
knows pizza was the plan.
Pizza was the plan.
It was the plan.
Oh, it's really hard when you're on like a calorie specific diet like I am this week trying to I found a way to do pizza, but it was a pain in the ass to get thin crust and the healthier toppings, and then it has to be something that my husband will still eat. So
good luck.
I know diets suck, especially if the other person isn't also on the same diet you are at the same time. It's like, God.
So we're getting to the end of the show.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are online, if you had something that was awesome that happened this week, something happy that you would like to share with us, put it in the chat so that we can all share it together. Because it's just nice to hear everyone's good news or things that happened that was good, because we hear so much anger and crap and unhappiness, out in the world. Anytime we can just take a moment and enjoy the good things that are happening, like that's not too bad a deal.
That's not a bad thing at all. Well, for me, this last weekend, I was everywhere. I had a graduation party and my mother's birthday party, and it was so nice to see my mom. And now, like, everybody can be out and about, and they're all happy. And so we got to have a birthday party there. But also, my husband's cousin's kid, so is that their second cousin? I don't know. Second cousin graduated from high school, and we went to their graduation party, down in, out in the middle of Minnesota. And we hadn't seen all of the cousins because one lives in Las Vegas, one lives in Chicago, and one lives up in St. Paul, and we just never see each other. And so we got to see all the cousins came there, and we got to hang out. We all got pictures taken. Got to see my mother-in-law's cute new puppy, which is the most cutest puppy in the world. I love that dog. So chill. And it was almost a cat. So I was like, I'll take that dog. I love chill dogs. But it was a good weekend, and I feel like I love summer. So it was a good time.
So my weekend was pretty spectacular too. I mean, we did the training, which I was like very focused and kind of stressed about, and I just I needed it to go well and all that kind of stuff. But it was great getting to see everyone in Region 2. Like that was like so many people that you just see online, or maybe you see once every 2 years at the national convention, and I got to see them again, and it was amazing. And everyone is just like, they had such positive attitudes, and these were like really the people that are out there doing stuff, like doing the work, right? And so then in the evening we went to what was called an Irish pub, but it was in no way, shape, or form an Irish pub.
What was it, Cara?
At all. It was I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like a regular bar.
Like a sports bar that pretended to be Irish pub?
Yeah, but like it was not Irish.
You're like, what is Irish about this? Is somebody related to an Irish person?
Nothing Irish about it.
Well,
and the service was slow because there's like one waitress for the whole place. There's like one cook for the whole place. Yeah. But we were all together. We were having a fantastic time. And probably the funniest part was when the evening was all over because we had to drive somewhere else because I was like, I just want to eat. Like, I haven't eaten today and I just want some food.
Food.
And it's like, past 9:00 at night. And we got to, I don't know, Ruby Tuesdays or some crap place like that. But then when we headed home, Jim Turney was like, yeah, I can give you all a ride back. And it was like, I don't know, maybe 8 of us getting in his car.
I saw a picture
This is
of
not
it.
a large car.
I was like,
We were stacked like cordwood, and it was hilarious. But I mean, it was just, I had so much fun. I laughed so hard and had the best time. And then I have one other little thing.
Yeah. What's the one other thing?
So the pool at our association is open. And Tracy and I ran in there for like a half hour tonight because we were like, it is happening. We cannot stand it any longer. I don't care. And so we just like ripped our clothes off, put our swimsuits on.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say you just like ran naked out, and they're like, put a swimsuit on. No.
But I mean, that was fantastic. So
that's so good! Yay! I'm coming over, and I'm gonna steal your pool. I'm gonna come.
And I was thinking about that. So we've tried to do a podcast from the pool before, but I think that's because we tried to use internet. I think we can do it on our phones.
You think we could? But I used my phone. I used my phone, but did I use the internet or did
I use the internet? You tried to hook to the internet on your phone.
I don't know, Cara. I think what we could do, we could try, but it didn't work very well last time. We might try your phone if it works. Do a test one.
We'll do it in our floaties.
Yes, and then we drop our phone in the pool.
Well, you put them in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, that's right. Can you hear through it though if you're like trying to record sound?
Yep.
Okay. I'm kind of like, I think we should test it.
We need some. Yeah, we do, Travis.
Do it right. This will be our OnlyFans. Yeah, look at libertarians in a pool. And they'll like think it's sexy, but it's just us going, how do we make this work?
Yeah. Boomer in it.
Nothing cool. No, I think we should try. We'll try again. I promise we'll try. If nothing else, we'll at least record it and then we'll upload it and laugh about it. We can make it work. So I saw there was one. Here, Travis said he had a family get together. Finally, it wasn't GOP versus DFL. It was what is a libertarian. I like that. That's always good.
That is good.
I hope everybody has just like the best week. And there's lots of positive, good stuff that you can share with us. And we can share ours with you next week too. It'll be awesome. So is there anything else, Cara? Is there anything else we need to say? I don't know. Okay. Well, have a great week, guys. We will see you next hump day. Oh my God, what is that, Baby Yoda? Hi. I love you, Baby Yoda. You the best. See you later, guys.